Hey guys, it's PhilosopherKing. My opponent this time is Awoken, who's pretty commonly seen in Advanced OU and a decent player overall. But yeah, this is a pretty low-key game. We're just playing for fun. And he leads Snorlax, which is, I don't know what to think about that. It's usually there, I guess, to handle things like Gengar. It would be very effective against Gengar leads, but Gengar is not commonly seen as lead anymore, at least not as much as it used to be. Teams are more offensive in the metagame as of late, so things like Metagross, Salamence, and T-Tar are more common leads. But anyway, I go for Earthquake, and it does 43% against the Vaporeon, and so I'm going to go for Earthquake again. He goes for Wish. We'll see if the Vaporeon has Protect. If not, he'll have to get out of here if he wants to live. And it does have Protect, so this is not going to be a winning battle for me. You might go for Surf, which would probably do a good chunk to Metagross, and since my Metagross is Choice Banded, it would not get that damage back. So yeah, I'm thinking what I want to switch to. Maybe something like Celebi, and yep, that's what I do switch to. He goes to Celebi as well, so see what I want to do here. His Celebi may be a offensive Celebi, in which case he would clearly have the advantage. Most offensive Celebi have HP Fire, which would do a ton. But I guess neither of us are comfortable. We both switch out. I get an advantage, my Metagross versus his Jirachi. Earthquake would be deadly here. I don't think it would kill, but it would definitely put him in a position where his Jirachi would not be very healthy. But yeah, we both switch again, and this time, Salamence and Vaporeon isn't good, so I go back to my Celebi, and Toxic misses, but not a huge deal, since Celebi is a natural cure poke after all, and I don't think he'll be comfortable staying in, but he does. He goes for Toxic. I guess he doesn't want me to Calm Mind up, but I was thinking he'd switch to something else, like his Jirachi, so I went to my Metagross, but that didn't work out. He goes for Protect, and yeah, that didn't work out. So my Celebi comes back in. I go for Leech Seed, it misses, but Toxic does connect for him. So I'm going to have to get out of here sooner or later. I may just stay in and just go for a Leech Seed and just kind of annoy him. But no, I just switch out right away. And yeah, Vaporeon is being pretty stubborn. It does not want to switch. But my Metagross is definitely going to want to switch. Like I said, if it's not going to win the battle before, it's not going to win the battle now. I could explode here, but Protect is pretty scary on the Vaporeon, so if he protected, my explosion would just do nothing except kill me. So the replay's glitched up, so we're going to fix that. He goes to a Celebi. I go for Earthquake, thinking he might go to his Jirachi as he thought I would go to my Celebi. But he goes to his Celebi and Earthquake bounces off. So I go to my Celebi and Leech Seed from him doesn't connect. Anywho, it looks like right now neither of us can really break through each other's teams, but we are getting a preview of each other teams in the process. I've shown him, let's see, I've only shown him maybe, let's see, I've shown him Celebi, Salamence, and I think Metagross. I think I've only shown him 3, whereas he's shown me Celebi, Vaporeon, Jirachi, and Snorlax. So I think I have a better scouting advantage than he does. And he's going for Calm Mind, as I'm going for Calm Mind. I go for Leech Seed to discourage him from doing that, but that doesn't work out, so I go to my Lax. I didn't want to play that game. This Lax has Earthquake, so it should do a good chunk to his Jirachi. But at +2, Jirachi Psychic is going to do a hefty chunk, 34%. However, I should be able to win this battle. We'll see what kind of Jirachi this is. If it's a Wish Jirachi, I may be in trouble. But yeah, it's a Wish Jirachi, but unfortunately, Wish is not going to come into effect until after I take out the Jirachi next turn with Earthquake, because Earthquake will kill next turn. So yeah, that may have been a blunder on his part. He should have gone if he was going to stay in, he probably should have gone for Wish originally rather than going for Psychic. But yeah, it's not a huge deal. You could just bring in the Jirachi later after and give it some leftovers and it'd still be pretty viable. Yeah, I'm just being heckled in the comment section, but other than that, I'm surprised he really stays in here. I think that was a huge mistake. Like I said, he could have come in later, like against my Celebi, and just healed off with Wish, or even just gained some leftovers recovery. But yeah, after that, it's a 6-5 game. He answers with his Snorlax. You know, mid-level health, I'm really not comfortable staying in here. I may just want to stay and go for Boom and maybe take it out, but, you know, I haven't seen his whole team yet, so I think it would be wiser to switch, go into something like Celebi. And that's what I do. Body Slam connects, doesn't paralyze me, fortunately. Not a huge deal if it did, but it just would have been annoying. I go for Leech Seed. He goes to Celebi, which resists that. And yeah, I go for Calm Mind, and he shows me a very interesting poke, which is Moltres. Probably one of the best anti-metagame pokes ever, and this team does not like it. Metagross doesn't like it. Magneton doesn't like it. Celebi doesn't like it. Well, I don't have Magneton on this team anymore, but it wouldn't like it anyway. Celebi doesn't like it. Metagross doesnn't like it. Suicune has trouble switching into it over time because most Moltres run HP Grass. My Snorlax doesn't like it since it does not have Rest, so Will-O-Wisp on Moltres would be pretty bad. Salamence doesn't like it either. So yeah, a lot of things in my team don't like Moltres, so I gotta be careful here. And Substitute, kind of unusual, but not a huge deal. I could just break it. So I gotta decide what I want to do here. I could go for Ice Beam, which I think should break it. It does neutral damage thanks to Moltres' fire and flying type. Yeah, fire and flying types. But I go for Hydro Pump just to be safe. It connects with Will-O-Wisp, not a huge deal. This Coon has Rest. I don't think he's going to want to stay in here. I go for Calm Mind as a result. And we'll see what his Celebi wants to do. He'll probably Leech Seed me or something like that, but not before I get a good Ice Beam off. But I decided, you know, I don't want to do that because Burn plus Leech Seed would be a lot. It would do a lot. So I just go to my Celebi. I go for Leech Seed, knowing he's going to switch to his Moltres. So I don't think he's going to want to sub up here. But I'm not going to stay in. I believe Fire Blast would definitely one-hit KO the Celebi, so I go to my Coon, it goes to Lex, and knowing I'm going to do that. But then I go to my Metagross, knowing he's going to go for Body Slam or Shadow Ball or whatever. So yeah. But then there's this Vaporeon, which is really annoying. And it could heal off his Moltres and any other poke on the team. So I gotta figure out how to take out this Vaporeon. Those of you who know me know how much I hate Vaporeon. I think it's just super annoying. It's got access to things like Wish, Protect, Toxic, Roar, Haze. I mean, you name it, it's got it. It even has Baton Pass, has Acid Armor, just stupid things that just make it really annoying to take out. So my goal is to take out the Vaporeon so it can't Wish and heal its teammates, which will make taking out the Moltres much easier. And yeah, so he does have, the Moltres does have Hidden Power Grass, and I have to switch out because I would die to next Hidden Power Grass. I should rest off my Coon soon. But I bring my Menson, knowing he's going to use Hidden Power Grass. I don't know if I'm faster than the Moltres, so if he goes for Burn or something, that would really be bad. But I think Rock Slide, which would do like just knock it out completely thanks to its crappy Fire Flying typing, I think that's going to be enough to force Awoken to get out of there. Because even if I get hit with Wisp, Rock Slide would still do a huge chunk. So yeah, he may just go back to Vaporeon, and if he does do that, I'm going to bring my Coon in, and then I'm going to rest off, because I think that's the best thing. Because looks like that Coon's going to be pretty important, against this Moltres, because Snorlax, I guess, could boom on it, but Moltres has Substitute, so I don't think Awoken would fall for that. But yeah, I go to my Stormy here. I'm not sure why. I guess I was afraid that Hidden Power Grass would come off the Moltres as I tried to switch into the Vaporeon, so I didn't want to take that risk. I just brought my Starmie in just in case, which would have taken a ton, but I could have answered with Thunderbolt, which also would have done a ton to the Moltres. But yeah, the Starmie has kind of a weird set. It's got Psychic, Thunderbolt, Rapid Spin, Recover. I'm not a huge fan of Starmie. I think it's just doesn't do enough damage for what it wants to hit. And the only reason I have it is because I need another natural cure poke on the team. So, I finally do bring my Coon into Vaporeon as I planned earlier, and I go for Rest. So the burn's going to be away and I should be at full health. He goes for Surf. I'm not sure why. I mean, I'm not going to, you know, attack the Vaporeon. I have nothing. So I think that was kind of a mistake. So I try to wake up. I have to stay in 2 more times, or 2 more turns in order to wake up. He brings the Celebi in, so I think he's going to go for Leech Seed or something, or Calm Mind Up. Goes for Leech Seed, which is fine by me. I'd rather, you know, use my pressure ability on my Coon to waste those PP right now rather than later. So I go to my Lax. He goes to his Lax, and that's sort of awkward. I'm not comfortable staying in. I go for my Celebi. I get paralyzed, which is not a huge deal. He can go back to his Celebi as I Leech Seed, but I just go for Psychic in case he wants to bring Moltres in. But it doesn't work out. Psychic only does 33% after the crit, so that is definitely a specially defensive invested Snorlax. I go to my Metagross as Shadow Ball comes in, or not comes in, but you know what I mean, comes into contact with the Metagross, you know, whatever, comes in contact with, no huge deal. And now I'm really tempted to go for Boom here, not just to hit the, for the Snorlax, but for the Vaporeon, and yep, I make a correct prediction, and I take out the Vaporeon, which was being really annoying. So yeah, that made my day. Vaporeon's gone. So it's a 5-4 game. I have an advantage, although the Moltres still presents a problem. But so long as the Coon is there, I guess I can check it. Shows me as a Claydol. Snorlax coming in against the Claydol is, you know, it depends. If the Claydol has Explosion, that would be bad. If not, the Snorlax should be able to win this battle, though the Stab Earthquake may hurt a little bit. So we'll see what I do here. I'm not sure if I remember. Yes, I go to my Stormy, because nothing the Claydol could do except Boom would be able to hurt the Stormy that much. And he goes to Celebi, which normally I could hurt if normally the Stormy could hurt it. However, given the strange move set I have, Thunderbolt and Psychic, I won't be able to do a thing against it. So I go back to my Celebi in order to heal off, go for Recover, because the worst thing the opposing Celebi could do is go for Psychic, which, you know, it's not going to be a huge deal. So I get to recover off as I wanted to. Goes for Substitute as I switch. I go to my Starmie. We'll see how much Hidden Power Grass does, but, well, I guess not, because he gets a lucky crit. I break the sub with Thunderbolt, but a dead poke wasn't really worth that. I answer with my Mence, which should be enough to scare him out. Without Vaporeon, I don't know what he's going to switch into, which is another reason why I boomed in on it. Gives my Salamence some more room. Goes to his Claydol, so I guess that is a good answer. Rock Slide bounces off of it, and I'm pretty sure the Claydol has Ice Beam, so yeah. Probably not going to stay in here. Probably the best thing I could go into is my Coon, but, you know, once again, the Claydol could have Explosion. And I'm not sure why I went to my Lax there. because if it did boom or something like that, that would have been bad. However, I think what I was going for was just to get some leftovers recovery from my Snorlax, because I knew the Ice Beam would just bounce off of it. So yeah, not much of a plan, but you know, I just wanted to heal off my Snorlax a little bit. Goes for Leech Seed. I mean, I'm not really... Basically what I'm doing is trying to waste the PP on the Leech Seed because it's just annoying. I go for Calm Mind, and the Moltres comes in. Now, I should survive a Fire Blast, and I'm just staying in here just to do some damage against the Moltres. And I do. I get it to 27%. However, the Moltres is faster, so barring a Fire Blast miss, I would die here. So the best thing I can do now is go to my Coon, which, you know, it's asleep, but Fire Blast won't do that much to it, so it will get the chance to wake up, and I doubt at 27% he will want to stay in and go for Hidden Power Grass. So that probably will prompt a switch. So overall, I'd say the situation is this. My Coon is pretty much the answer to beating his whole team. The only thing keeping it in check is the Celebi, I believe. Yeah, that's the Celebi, which Leech Seed, and eventually that's going to run out. He has the Snorlax, which I suspect has self-destruct, but I can always be careful of that. So I would say the Celebi is the thing keeping me from sweeping his team. Everything else, the Claydol and the Moltres, it's not really a huge deal for the Coon. But suppose the Coon did fall, I would have Salamence, which could Dragon Dance up. Moltres I don't think is faster because I think he would have stayed in, gone for Will-O-Wisp or something. Although it may very well be that he just didn't want the Will-O-Wisp to miss and my Rock Slide to connect and kill it. So he just may be being cautious there. I could also boom with my Lax, so I have several options of like dealing with things I don't want to deal with. But overall, I'd say the Suicune is pretty much my best answer for winning this game. So yeah, Fire Blast connects only does 23%, but I mean, a fire type move doing that much against Coon unboosted is still a pretty good achievement. I make a nice switch to my I make a nice switch to my Salamence as the Celebi comes in, and I go for Hidden Power Grass, or not Hidden Power Grass, what am I talking about? Hidden Power Fly connects with the Claydol. I do get a lucky crit, so I guess that sort of makes up for the crit against my Starmie, but the Claydol didn't die, and I mean, damage count from the crit suggests to me Hidden Power Fly wouldn't do 37%, so it wouldn't be able to kill the Claydol, so I get it out of there. He goes for Ice Beam, which doesn't do much against the Coon. I go for Ice Beam, and he goes for Snorlax. I'm not sure if my Hydro Pumps ran out of PP or not. I may just be conserving them for the Moltres. Yeah, recently I changed Hydro Pump to Surf because I realized how silly it was to have Hydro Pump on a non-offensive Coon, but you know, you live and learn. I go for Calm Mind, he goes for Body Slam, I rest, I'm asleep, he brings Celebi in, probably use Leech Seed, but that's kind of what I wanted to do. Like I said before, I want the PP to go away, so when eventually later in the game I do decide to sweep with Coon, he won't have Leech Seed to sort of annoy me and force me to rest sooner rather than later. So yeah, Ice Beam does 60%, but Leech Seed and Recover heal that off, and he'll just stall me out with Recover as I get drained by Leech Seed, so I don't want to do that, so I switch to my Celebi. I go for Leech Seed, connects with the Lax. He doesn't look like he has a way to really hurt my team anymore, so I'm thinking that he's going to do something like Boom, or with the Lax pretty soon, or Yeah, I think that's his only option, and yeah, that's what happens. I mean, he had to gain some tempo back, because clearly I was gaining more and more of an advantage with my Coon. But now that the Snorlax is gone, all that's left is the Celebi, which will eventually run out of Leech Seed, and that'll allow me to beat the rest of his team. And thinking he would go to Celebi, because I thought he would think I'd go to Coon, I bring my Salamence in, but he answers with Claydol, which forces me to switch out. Snorlax comes in to take it, which I think is pretty safe, since the Claydol I don't think has Explosion. And yeah, I go for Shadow Ball. We both get Specs drops with our moves respectively, but you know, that benefits him since he's the one in fact using a special move. I bait a Recover, and that allows me to boom on the Celebi. And yeah, I think it's game over from here. Now it's just a matter of taking out the Moltres, which will be pretty easy, I think. But I go to my, I'm not sure why I went for my Salamence, but unfortunately he gets a freeze with his Claydol's Ice Beam, and yeah, that would be bad if he switches to his Moltres and I stay frozen for a long time. Yeah, that wouldn't be good. So thinking he would go to his Moltres, I go to my Mence, but he doesn't. He stays in with Claydol. And so I go back to my Coon. I'm going to try to unfreeze. He goes for Psychic to 17%. He knows that I'm frozen, so he goes to his Moltres. I think he should have done that earlier. He goes for Substitute in case I do freeze. Or, excuse me, I do unfreeze. And yeah, I go for Hydro Pump. It connects. Barring it Hidden Power Grass crit, I should win this. So, bum 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 bum. The tension is killing me. Will Moltres get a Hidden Power Grass crit? Will I miss with Hydro Pump? Those are very real possibilities. I'm wondering whether or not to go for Ice Beam, but I'm not sure if Ice Beam will take out the Moltres. And if it doesn't, he'd get Hidden Power Grass off, and my Coon would be at low HP. And yeah, that wouldn't be good. Worst thing that could happen in that situation is like I switch, goes for Hidden Power Grass again as I bring my Mence in. I take him out with Rock Slide, he brings his Claydol in, I sack the Salamence, and then I would bring my Coon in. It would be faster, so it would be able to rust off. So, I mean, I don't want that to happen, since the more turns that occur, the better chance he has to win. So I'm hoping the decision I make is the right one. I don't remember what I did. Goes for Substitute. I go for Hydro Pump. We'll see what he wants to do now. Goes for Hidden Power Grass. He doesn't get a crit, and I do take him out with Ice Beam. So if the Hydro Pump had missed, I would have been in big trouble. But it didn't. So just in case he gets like a crit or something, I just go to sleep. He goes for Earthquake. This is not going to do it. You have to get multiple crits in a row, and I would have to be stupid and just like misclick a bunch of times. So I'm just going to fast forward. I wake up. I go for Calm Mind, just to speed this process along. I go for Ice Beam. Ice Beam. He goes for Ice Beam. We're just beaming ice at each other. And yeah, finally I take out the Claydol. So the final score in this kind of stallish but very interesting battle is 2-0, with me as the victor. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed the battle. You got to see a team using Moltres, and you got to see sort of a stallish yet tense battle at the same time. So I think that's a win-win, you know, 2 pluses. I don't see any downside to this battle. So let me know what you think in the comments, and look forward to the next battle.